I've been on a road for the last year and had an awful, uncomfortable desk setup, and obviously I got consequences with headaches, neck and back pain. But recently I moved into a new empty apartment and it is finally time to build a dream desk setup from the ground up. Let's go. Spoiler alert, it didn't went as expected and I faced a lot of problems. Of course, here's the main brain of my workflow, the M1 MacBook Pro. I upgraded it from 2017 MacBook that I used for almost 6 years. Yep, the reliability of Apple products is unbeatable. I chose 14-inch version over 16-inch to be more portable while on a road. I love everything about this computer, the design, the display, the keyboard, the list goes on and on. And the performance lets me edit 4K footage without any problems, and it is a base model processor. But while at home, I want a proper desk setup with bigger screen and accessories. So let's add some juice to it. I love dark setups, but I want more light coming into the desk area. I searched through local stores, Amazon and IKEA for concrete light desks. And of course I found one in IKEA, the cheapest yet high quality option out there. And surprisingly, the concrete one felt amazing above all else. I don't really know how to describe it. Super soft with nice wavy concrete texture and without itching sandpaper feeling, like other desktops. One minor issue is the size. For me, it's a little bit narrow with 24 inches wide, but considering the price, I decided to give it a shot. Well, the excitement is hitting through the roof, but I didn't expect problems that were coming at me. The first thing that arrived at my doorstep was desk frame. After opening it, I realized that I mistakenly ordered the manual height adjustment mechanism instead of automatic frame. So I packed it and waited another few days for replacement. Second thing that arrived was monitor. My requirements for it were simple, as wide as possible but not curved because curved monitors give me headaches, and USB-C connection with charging. For my purposes, I skipped gaming monitors because of the design, and I skipped Apple displays because, you know, empty bank account situation. I always wanted to try LG lineup, so here we are. Huge 32-inch 4K monitor. The size in 4K was a little bit novel for me. In the package there were some additional high-quality cables in clean white color, and there was also an unexpectedly huge power adapter. I was already terrified about the cable management. I quickly clipped the monitor, thank God I didn't drop it, connected the wires, and the desk setup is already coming together. I think my productivity already increased by 10–15%. This monitor has built-in speakers. They are not as good quality as dedicated external speakers, but they are enough. And I'm personally using my Sony XM4's headphones 80% of the time. Also tell me please in the comment section if I'm dumb. It says that this monitor supports 65-watt charging, but my MacBook has 96-watt power break. So will my MacBook explode or the battery will die eventually? By the way, it shows that the MacBook is charging and doesn't lose any percent. Anyway, the monitor is great, bright, high pixel density that handles MacBook resolution, and my wallpapers look great on it. This is my personal photos that I turned into digital paintings. This one is from Iceland where we chase northern lights, and if you like cozy mood at your desk, check out my wallpaper pack with a link in the description, and also my screensaver. But you know, watching my videos is already the greatest way of supporting the channel. While I was bored and watching YouTube, this box finally arrived at my door. And as you might already notice, the delivery order of my desk setup has no sense. For my chair, I had 3 requirements. Look nice, ergonomic and not overpriced. I went to local shops and Amazon and found this interesting piece that isn't too loud with its design, have reasonable price, and on pictures it felt like it's ergonomic. But still, I was scared that it will be ugly in real life and not comfortable at all. In the box there were pre-assembled parts and I just needed to connect everything with screws. It took me around 15 minutes. It is a pretty straightforward process, especially with manuals. Well, it looks really good. The frame of a chair is not clean white as per website, but more grayish, and actually matches my setup more. And my back says that this chair is ergonomic and will be great for my health. All in all, perfect addition to my desk setup. But where is the goddamn desk? Finally, I got my countertop delivered and also the frame. For the frame, I chose the gray color just to match the whole theme. Again, white is too contrasty for the desk setup and this room. This is a T-shaped height adjustment frame that I bought from a local niche brand. But there are similar models on Amazon, I dropped some link in the description. This is like my first standing desk ever, so I was a bit nervous and expected somewhat hard assembly process. But with all the manuals in the package and instruments, it was very simple. It took me like an hour. By the way, the best tip for all the assembling processes at your home is to buy yourself an electric screwdriver. It speeds up all the things a lot. I have a Xiaomi screwdriver kit, and I'm also a fan of Auto Tools and their screwdriver. The maximum length for the desk frame was 75 inches, which is perfect for my countertop, which is 76. I wanted to have zero space between the legs of the frame and the end of the desktop. So the desktop from IKEA has no pre-drilled holes, but with the electric screwdriver and its power, I managed to put the screws to the desktop easily. But always check the length of the screw and the thickness of the desktop, so you won't make an unforgettable mistake. Well, the electric height adjustable desk is ready. And it also has a lot of wires that I will be dealing with in the future. So at first glance, the desk fits in the room perfectly. I also think the length is kinda perfect. I can work comfortably and have a dedicated space to film videos and to have some chaos going on. But if the desk was too long, I could have cut it and make the cut unnoticeable with 2 additional covers that were in the package. The first height adjustment check. It also says that it can manage up to 130 kilos of weight. Well, we have our desk, we have our chair, laptop and monitor. For unnecessary accessories, I bought my first Alex IKEA drawer. In the box there were some pre-assembled parts, so the whole process felt a lot smoother, especially with the electric screwdriver. But in the package there were too many small parts, so the full assemble took me about an hour. On the website there were no colors to match my monochrome theme, but I found this dark, slightly turquoise one a great match for the desk setup. I stored there all my EDC, wires, camera gear and other stuff. I put it on wheels to move it around and easily access my camera gear when I'm filming videos. All in all, Alex is a great addition to any desk setup if you have a budget for it. Under the desk setup I put a cheap IKEA rug to make all the things more cozy and less echoey, and keep the tiles safe from scratches. It became a little bit harder to move around on the chair, but I think it is a good thing. And now it's time for necessary accessories. So here's my logic, same monochrome grayish theme without loud statements. As for keyboards, I didn't really find a new one that would suit me. The only one I really liked was Logitech MX Mechanical Mini for Mac in gray color. So I decided to keep my Keychron K2 and just upgrade a little, changing the keycaps. I found keycaps in the color scheme of my desk setup. Honestly, it was the only one set in this color theme I could find. It's not perfect as I imagined in my head, but it solves the task. I know it is not a proper modification of a keyboard, but you gotta start somewhere, right? And changing the keycaps was so enjoyable. I didn't really expect that unpinning the keycaps was so easy. Well, here we are, the small modification that changes the whole mood. As for mouse, I like my MX Master 3, don't get me wrong, but I think it has necessary features that sometimes bother me. And I just wanted to try something new, go back to my gaming mouse era and treat myself with nice minimal mouse. I settled on a white color, gathered up a shortlist and decided to buy Razer Death Adder V3 because it's fresh in the market and I love the design. It is a super lightweight mouse, and after using it after a couple of days I tried MX Master 3 and it felt like a brick. So I'm really enjoying the experience with this Razer mouse so far. Well, here is the problem I didn't expect to face. I'm a little dumb and forgot that I have a macOS computer, so gaming mice are kinda more suited for Windows. So I was a little surprised that it doesn't have a Bluetooth connectivity, only with this small USB thing. Second thing is that the mouse out of the box is too slow and the software to set up the sensitivity doesn't support macOS. So I couldn't set up the most suitable sensitivity for myself. I found on GitHub that there is a custom-made adapted software for Mac, but it still doesn't support my model because it is relatively new and was released last year. Anyway, we'll be waiting for the update. But for now, I toggle the button on a mouse for high sensitivity. It has only 2 modes and maxing out sensitivity in macOS settings. And with that, it is 90% of my satisfaction rate. The concrete countertop is not perfectly flat, so for the mice and for the overall comfort, I needed a desk mat. And to match the theme of my desk setup, I decided to skip leather ones and settle on a gray wool-filled desk mat. Not Grove made, of course, because I still can't afford it. And here is a hot take. For some people, the wool material is itchy and they don't like the feeling of it. But for some, including me, it is really comfortable. I find it comforting like a winter sweater. And I always feel cozy at my desk. The one issue I have about this desk mat and overall about tech is that everything on websites are not as accurate as in real life. So my chair had the white frame on the website, but in real life it is more gray, and the desk mat felt like a perfect color match to my desk. Warm gray color, but in real life it has an unpleasant bluish tint. For now I decided to leave everything as it is. Here is another problem that I faced with this desk mat and the width of my countertop. The standard legs of the monitor are too wide and they step on the desk mat, which is a little bit frustrating. To solve this problem, I went shopping on Amazon to find a monitor arm. I wanted the simplest version, so I just bought the cheapest that can handle 32-inch monitor. There were no silver or white options for this price range, so maybe at some points I'll spray paint it. In the package there were all necessary screws to set everything up. And with manual it was an easy process, but I was a little scared that I'll somehow damage the monitor or it will just fall off the arm. But everything turns out perfect. This arm also has some cable management clips where I hide all the wires coming from the monitor. As for cable management of the whole desk setup, it was a mess, but to quickly cover the topic, I bought the tray under the desk and tried to fit everything there. Tighten all the wires together and tape it when necessary under the desk. So from a side it looks pretty much clean. Now back to desk setup accessories. For laptop stand I found this simple and cheap silver-like stand, which you can manually adjust to the wideness of your laptop. Simple and again fits perfectly in my desk setup. To the lining, the two great inventions of humanity for desk setups, the monitor light bar and LED strip. As for light bar, I bought basic one. I really don't understand the unreasonable pricing of BenQ light bar, and I think in 90% of the situations you should buy the cheaper version. It has 3 touch buttons to change the temperature and intensity. I think this is a great instrument for keeping healthy environment at the desk setup. In the evenings when you lighten up your space with it, it reduces eye strain a lot. The second thing that helps with eye strain is LED strip, and here is where I decided to spend some extra money and bought the Hue light strip instead of a cheap RGB lights. Mostly because I wanted to start building an ecosystem of lights in my apartment. By the way, if you know any other good light brands with which you can create an ecosystem, write them in the comments. While setting up the RGB strip, I cut the small part, because it is too long for my desk. It has special marks where you can cut the strip without damaging the LEDs. To guarantee the perfect grip, I've cleaned and wiped down the surface of the desk. And after that, all that was needed is to stick the strip to the desk. And here we are. High quality LEDs with smooth color changing. Great intuitive app where I've already set up some of my favorite color themes. But if you want to save some money, of course do it. There are a lot of simple options of RGB lights. Last thing about Hue strip. If it's too close to the wall, sometimes you can clearly differentiate separate colors. So to make the color pattern soft, you need to move the desk around 2 to 4 inches from the wall. So this is my complete desk setup. I love how everything turns out, and if you love watching tech YouTube videos like me, watch another video from a small and humble creator.